tonight we're talking about this lady right here. Can you describe this sweet old Gran?
It is a hot
She
vehicle.
does look. I feel like you're gonna try to distract us and make us think that she's this sweet little old lady, but I feel like she might be not the victim, and I'll feel really bad if you go and say that she is the victim.
Well, she looks, I don't know, this looks like an older photograph, right? So this...
Well, she's 71.
Yeah, she's definitely... Yeah.
No, I didn't mean age-wise. I meant like the picture itself looks like it was taken... It doesn't look like a recent picture.
Maybe like...
Technology stand-wise.
80s. Even though it's black and white, I feel like 80s.
So she's got grayish white hair and her short hair, and her smile is closed mouth. She's no teeth in her smile. I mean, she may have teeth. This is not going back to the whole British thing with no teeth again. But
Actually, she has
teeth.
fake teeth.
Oh, okay. Well, dentures.
Yeah, dentures.
She kind of reminds me of B. Arthur, from
I was
Golden
gonna
Girls.
say that.
What the fuck is B.
Yeah.
Arthur?
From the Golden Girls.
I've never seen that movie.
Dorothy.
I've never seen that movie.
It's a show.
It's a show.
So that's Miss Lily Lily.
That's why we get...
Yeah.
Other than Nicole's grandmother, Blanche.
Yeah.
So that is Miss Lily Lily. Lily, Lily, and then her last name is Lilley. Lily Lily.
That's awesome. Dope name.
Dope
Jealous.
name. Yeah. All right, check it out. Tonight we're going to September 27th, 1998. This is in London, the UK. Failsworth, Greater Manchester. We're talking about a Gran of 3. Miss Lily Lily, 71, widowed for 12 years after her beloved husband died. So I think this is the first one where we can actually give out a gift card because this is a headlines case, and I did look it up because I was going to take credit for it, but I didn't post it at all. I just posted it in case request. But I think Shram posted this story, so you might know what it is. So, I mean, I kind of want to do the gift cards because, like, they're easier for us to do.
Sure.
Or whatever you want to do.
We're going to do them for the first 10.
Yeah.
So this is number 1.
Yeah. And then, if you guys don't like that, then we can do something else. I mean, it's coming out of Jen's fucking paycheck. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just kidding.
Before we get really into it, though, I did have to shout out a couple of tacos.
Oh, nice.
Oh, we got some Supremos?
From the past couple of weeks. Well, Heather joined us a small taco, so welcome, Heather.
Welcome.
And also we had Ashley, who joined as a Supremo.
Awesome.
Sweet. Thank you, Ashley,
Welcome.
Heather.
We will hold off on doing your surprise shot dedication until Jen is back present with us. So that might be a couple weeks.
Correct.
We can't do it without her.
Yeah.
I would dare.
I'm also, I can't do it either. I'm not doing alcohol during the week anymore.
Ooh.
That's crazy. All right, September 27th, 1998, Miss Lily Lily, 71, goes missing. It's a Sunday, and cops are on high alert. As you saw, this neighborhood, it's kind of ghetto, and it was in 1998 as well. A lot of elderly pensioners are living here. But that's not the reason that they're so concerned. The reason that they're so concerned is because this has not been a great year, especially month, for elderly people. And I didn't go into these specific stories, but a week before Lily Lily goes missing, an 86-year-old Gran, Renee Swanwick, was stabbed to death inside her own home. She was murdered for a toaster, a tea kettle, and a small clock radio, stabbed multiple times. One detective said it was a, quote, particularly savage attack. A few days after that, an 80-year-old Roman Catholic father, Paul Orchard, was also brutally stabbed to death around the same area. So now it's Sunday. Neighbors haven't seen sweet old Miss Lily Lily, 71, in 3 days, and they're worried. Where is she? We have no idea where she is. I don't think she's in her house. We need to find her right now. So police are dispatched, and they are frantically trying to find this elderly woman, praying that what happened to these others did not befall on her as well. Miss Lily Lily, despite what Nicole said about her, or Jen, whoever said that, is actually
I feel bad now.
is actually an incredibly sweet and generous lady.
Jen's like, of course she is. Damn it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she
open mouth, insert foot.
12 years ago, she had lost her husband, and since then, she's been lonely, eccentric, and she's been living off her pension. Her family doesn't really come visit her, and she is tormented, and that's the quote that all the papers are using, tormented by the neighborhood kids. The neighborhood kids knocking on her door all hours of the day and night, asking for candy and just driving her crazy, but she still wears a smile, and she is just that sweet old gran. So they're trying to find her. Police go into her home. It's an apartment, detached apartment. Police go into that home and they find a gruesome scene. She is nowhere to be found, but there's blood, a lot of it. There's also writings, graffiti all over the walls. There's names written on the walls in paint and scraped on the walls with like knives or whatever, screwdrivers just scraped into the walls. All the furniture was completely slashed up, and it looked like whoever did this tried to write their names in the furniture as well. On one of the walls, it had a big sign that just said kill, and that was written in paint just on the wall.
Just kill?
Yeah. No,
Jesus.
not just kill, but kill. Yeah, kill. So police start their search, and let me show you the back of her house right quick. You can see this is the area that I showed you earlier. You can see kind of how derelict it is. Mm-hmm. This is police searching right here. Now they're actually searching in the nearby canal. They're hoping she's not in there, but hey, where would a 71-year-old pensioner go? I mean, it's not like she has a car. She doesn't go anywhere. She has nowhere to go. She has no money to go anywhere. So if she's not in her house, perhaps she's in the rat-infested canal there.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, I said that the kids were like tormenting her around the neighborhood. And she's a sweet old lady. And I thought to throw this quote in there that I found just to reiterate how shitty kids can be to old people.
One neighbor said, all the kids tormented her rotten, and they were always around at her house asking for sweets. Another neighbor said she was a bit of a recluse and a bit strange. She was tormented by kids. They'd bang on her door and ask for money, break the windows, and take the Mickey.
That's from the newspaper. I left it in there because I don't know what Mickey means.
Isn't that alcohol?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was like a typo.
What does...
No, Mickey is the malt liquor. I don't think that's the same thing.
Okay, so yeah, alcohol.
Oh, I don't know. So anyway, anyway. All right, police are searching because they are desperate to find this sweet old lady, and they did find her. Let me show you where that...
It's apparently also...
What is it?
It's apparently also a euphemism for a man's penis. I like how they had to clarify man's penis in that.
Lauren said, isn't it a roofie?
I don't know.
Is it a roofie?
Short for Mickey
I don't know.
Finn.
Ask Jacob. Is he on here?
What does Mickey slang mean? A drink usually alcoholic to which a drug, purgative, or the like has been secretly added that renders the unsuspecting drinker helpless.
That can't be what it means.
I am literally reading you from dictionary.com
But this is what the paper said. I don't think it was a misquote, so I don't know. It's something, man, whatever it is. All right, this is, like we said...
Give somebody a Mickey as a drink laced with a drug.
Oh, okay. Like we said, this is where she was living in this detached apartment right here. And that photo I just showed you, if you go over here to the left, you see this canal. And apparently this thing is what? This thing is dirt, man. This thing is super dirty. I heard rat infested. Look at this place, dude. Look at this shit, dude. This is fucking Detroit. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm laughing at what Jacob said. It's also a cartoon mouse.
The police go searching there, and that is the Rockdale Canal. And this is a photo of them searching. Let me show you this one more time. Right here, they're searching in there. They got divers to go in there, and they found something. They didn't find her body at first, but they found, surprisingly, one of these things.
A chair?
A wheelie bin.
A garbage bin.
A garbage bin. Well, they call it wheelie bins over there. This is the wheelie bin murder.
The wheelie mammoth.
Oh, I was looking in the wheelie bin.
Wheelie bin. Did you forget to take out the wheelie bin today? That's so stupid. Call it a trash can.
If anything, they'd probably call it a rubbish barrel.
Oh, God, I hate that word, rubbish. I've been called that so many times. So divers go down and they do find a wheelie bin, a rubbish barrel, and guess what was inside of it?
A body.
Whose body?
Lily's.
There you go. I can't even, you guys, I don't know, man. I remember the first episode, we would say, oh, and then there's a little bit of blood that came out, and you guys were like, oh my God, oh fuck. And Jen's fainting and shit. Now it's and he pulled the flesh off of his penis and ate it, and you guys were checking your Facebook messages, what the fuck?
The only time I ever fainted was during episode 10 after the absinthe, and it was fainted forward.
Yeah, that was a time.
Police find Miss Lily 71, her mangled body inside this trash bin, submerged at the bottom of this canal. Like I said, this canal is filthy. It is dirty. It is in England.
So it also has rats. It reminds me of the
New York rats.
Yeah, I was gonna say New York.
No, I was gonna say Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where they're in the catacombs and they're just rats everywhere.
Yeah.
Also Ratatouille, yes, Trim.
So her body has been in this wheelie bin for 3 days, submerged in the bottom of this rat-infested canal, maggot-covered canal.
Ew.
When they pull her out, they send her body to a pathologist, and this guy's name is Dr. William Lawler. He said that Miss Lily was killed, quote, by a bandage being wrapped around the lower part of her head and tied tightly at the back. Now, we're going to get into exactly how she died because he wasn't really sure what the cause of death was because her body's only been there 3 days in the water. Probably not much decomposition, I guess, but the rag was tied really tight, but it was on the lower part of her mouth, so it seemed like she would still be able to breathe. And it only comes out later, the true cause of death, which is disgusting in my opinion, and I'll tell you what that is. Dr. Lawler says, quote, "It is difficult to imagine the bandage could have been applied by one individual." That's how tight this thing was wrapped around her head. This is a 71-year-old woman.
That's terrible.
And two people at least to wrap this rag around Miss Lily, her head, and just cinch it down as hard as they could, tie it around the back, right?
That's sad, but it makes it seem like she didn't go down without a fight, though, if it needed to take two people.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a good point. As I said, police, when they go into the home, they didn't find Miss Lily, but they found all these graffiti covered walls. They found words saying kill. They found people's names carved into the walls and furnitures. They found that her phone, her landline, was used 258 times and that her pension money had been stolen. And it seems like it was stolen. And then whoever did this, let's say two people did this, they went and bought candy and soda with it and then came back and kind of lived in the house for a few days. They threw all of her clothes out of her drawers and just trashed the whole place.
From the Manchester Evening News, she was found to have a bandage wrapped around the lower part of her face and the upper part of her neck. Her dentures had been forced backwards and sideways and her tongue forced back, blocking her airways.
This is her cause of death. Her official cause of death, and this is pretty terrible. When these two people wrapped this cloth around Miss Lily's head, it knocked out her dentures, her fake teeth, and she actually choked to death on her fake teeth. That's how she died.
Oh, goodness.
That's terrible.
That was the reason she died, but there's other things. It seems like she was tortured during all of this, but that wasn't her cause of death. Her cause of death was her choking on her own dentures. The pathologist said that she could have possibly been suffering alive, choking like this for up to 4 minutes.
Ugh.
That's a long time to be choking on something.
Yeah. This pathologist said when he was giving his testimony in court, he said that, quote, she choked, spluttered, coughed, and made a gagging sound during this encounter. The cloth was applied when she was alive, and she could have been suffering for up to 4 minutes. Further injuries to her head showed that she had been punched and kicked and even tortured with a blunt knife, which is a lot worse than a sharp knife. You know what I'm saying? A blunt knife can do a lot more damage.
Yeah.
She had bruises on her forehead, right hip, arms, legs, and abrasions to the face. Bruises on her forehead, right hip, arms, legs, and abrasions to the face. Her injuries were consistent not only with the attacking and torturing, but this is terrible. This is probably the worst thing here. It showed that she had been pushed around deliberately to the ground and on hard surfaces repeatedly. So, like, if you're an old lady or an old man and you fall and you get bruised, like, you know, you trip or something, those bruises are different than if someone punches you. Like if you get punched, boom, I guess it's just like a circular bruise or whatever. Mm-hmm. These bruises seemed like whoever was doing this was pushing her around, pushing her on the wall, pushing her on the ground, like all these hard surfaces because she was elderly.
Yeah.
Which is like the most effed up thing I think I've ever heard, right? So what do you guys think so far? This is crazy. Who could have done this? Like try to take a guess. Why would someone do this?
Someone that was close to the family, maybe, like, and knew about insurance money.
She was a pensioner, a poor pensioner. I doubt she had a life insurance policy or anything because, I mean, she's 71. She doesn't have a husband and she doesn't have a lot of money, so...
Well, if she's not living in the best area, I'm wondering if it was just badness in the area. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah.
A gang or something like that, maybe?
So the other two murders I talked about earlier, I didn't research those because they're not a part of this story, but they weren't done by a gang. One of them was done by like a 31-year-old. The other one was done by like a 58-year-old. This is specifically different. If you go back to inside the house, remember I said that it seems like whoever did this, let's say there's two people that did this because we know it took two people to tie the literature, right? They took her pension money. They could see that, okay, she's been robbed of what she has, the small amount of money. And whoever did this went to the store and bought cookies, chocolate chip cookies, and soda pop, and came back and just lived there for a few days.
That's what a life is worth, apparently.
They
soda
bought,
pop and cookies.
They bought...
It sounds like teenagers. Like, who's going to buy soda pop and cookies and live off of that for a couple of days?
Good.
And graffiti.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, so Schramm had posted this story because it's also in the news again, but this is one of the murderers right here.
Oh my gosh, she looks like she's 12.
She's 14.
Oh my God.
This girl right here, Sarah Davey, she actually has a friend too. There was two people involved, a 14-year-old Sarah Davey and a 15-year-old who I'll kind of talk about. She's not really part of she's part of the story, obviously, but she's not part of the headline that is, that is out right now. But Lisa Healy is the other girl, 15. I'll show you like her photo and stuff. I'm trying to just focus on Sarah Davey since Sarah Davey is currently trending right now. She's in the news. So that's what we're kind of focusing on. But yeah, she's 14 and at the time that she did this, and she has a very hateful fan base, right? I mean, no one likes this chick at all.
So would we even call it a fan base?
But I did see one source that Sarah Davey, she has never been in trouble in all of her 14 years. And she goes to summer camp. She meets this wayward girl named Lisa Healy, 15, who has been in trouble. And they get together for the summer. And then they go do what they did here to this poor old grandmother.
Jeez. It's amazing how, it shows how they can be influenced, Kids can be influenced so easily by peer pressure.
Here's what we know from what happened. I'm going to walk through the actual murder from what we know. They were obviously caught relatively quick. The neighbors, for the past 3 days, when they didn't see Miss Lily, they tried to go knock on the door, and they were always greeted by a nice-looking 14-year-old, 15-year-old girl. I'm the granddaughter, I'm just a friend visiting. They were basically house sitting. They basically took over her house and they were
squatters.
Yeah, squatters. And they were telling people that, oh, yeah, my grandma, she's sick right now. She can't come down. That's when they were getting worried, you know. When police get there, obviously they weren't there, but they quickly figured out who did this. And it was these two teens, right? But here's what we know what happened. Miss Lily being lonely, eccentric, being tortured by all these other kids wanting candy. These two sweet girls came up and they were talking to her. They befriended her and they got inside of her house. At this point, Miss Lily goes and makes tea because the police saw that there was tea being made with 3 glasses there, 3 mugs. And when she comes back with the tea, that's when hell breaks loose and these two girls flip from nice children to what they are, which is terrible, right? Anyway, one of them grabs the shampoo from the bath, from Miss Lily's bath, and begins squirting her all over her body with the shampoo, like in her eyes and everything. At this point, they may not be thinking about killing her. They just want to berate her and have fun and just kind of torture her, you know, but then things kind of got a little too far. They ended up tying her up. This grandma didn't fight back or anything. She's 71 years old. Like, what's she going to do? You know? Can you read from The Guardian?
From The Guardian, they slashed her legs with a blunt knife and one laughed as they dragged her body around the house before forcing it into a wheelie bin.
I also think it's ironic that they slashed her legs with a blunt knife. Like, it's got to be more than a slash. Like, a blunt knife, you're really gonna try to do that.
We don't really know exactly how it went because they never admitted to anything, but it seems like when she was coming back with the tea, they started throwing shampoo at her, and then they started, like I said, pushing her against the walls and on the floor and bruising her up a little bit, and she's just like, what's going on? What's happening? Why are you doing this? And
it's just so random to just start throwing shampoo at someone. Like, I mean, they're kids. It's like they were doing a dumb prank, but it's not a prank. It's someone's life. So.
And after she died, choking on her own dentures, they took her downstairs and threw her in one of those wheelie bins. And for some reason, this is crazy. Like, this is one of the weird things about it. They put her body, like, literally stuffed her in this wheelie bin. They didn't dismember her or anything. And then they threw in a photo of her son as a baby. Like, a baby photo of her son. They threw it in the wheelie bin.
I mean, that's, like, almost cruel.
Yeah.
Even, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Cruel, right? I mean... Yeah. And then, as I showed you the location here, they put her in this wheelie bin, and they just basically roll her down about a half a mile to the canal here and just dump her in. And that's where you saw the cops. So they just dumped her right in there. Didn't know if it would float or sink. They didn't really care. It was just like kids being kids, I guess. It's like fucking crazy. I mean, who would have...
Not like any kids I know.
Yeah. So the reason I wanted to do this story, she is one of the most notorious child killers, Sarah Davey. The other girl, not so much. The other girl's out of prison. She changed her name. She has a baby. We don't really hear too much about her. But Sarah Davey was the youngest at the time. She has been kind of a problem child, I guess. They were both sentenced to life in prison, but it was kind of like a life sentence, but you know,
with parole.
It wasn't like parole. It's this weird thing where it's like, you know, we'll see how you do type of shit. They didn't use the word parole. For instance, both teens were eventually let out of prison. And the reason I'm doing Sarah Davey's story is because she has just been let out again. This would be the 8th time she has been let out of prison since 2013. She was first let out of prison, and
sounds like she likes it there.
No, well, I'm going to talk about that, but the conditions of their release, since they were children at the time, 14 and 15.
Not adults.
I get it. They were released from prison with certain requirements. Like, they can't do drugs. They can't participate in gang activity. Like, they have to go to a parole. They have to go to a probation
normal
office.
Requirements, though. Like, I feel like that's things that's normal. Like, you can't do drugs. Like, and you can't be in a gang.
Normal parole requirements.
Well, just normal life requirements.
Yeah, that too. Good point. Shram says, return to sender, put her back. Andalyn said, but prison rehabilitates. making fun of how John will always say it. So Jacob asked a good question. Did we already talk about where the kids' parents were? Like, what the,
The kids' parents, I didn't see much about them at all, but I did see that
They probably changed their name too.
they had sent Sarah to
The camp.
a camp,
Where they met
for wayward teens, I guess. Which I get, man. I was also sent to a military camp. I mean, I would never do this.
You
but...
turned out pretty good. Pretty okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Pretty okay. You're just talking about murder. You're not doing murder.
Yeah. Yeah.
For now.
The justice said, and that's like the judge over there, quote, "You have both been convicted of an act of unbelievable cruelty. Two young girls, for totally pathetic reasons, destroyed a frail old lady in order to get her house. What you did was unspeakably wicked. You have not shown the slightest trace of remorse or regret. You are both hard young women who have committed a terrible crime which almost defies belief by right-thinking people." Sarah Davey was sentenced to the Arkham Grange Women's Prison, which apparently is it's like a summer vacation. This is all women. Every prisoner has their own separated small house. It's like a condo.
What?
They can come and go as they please as long as they stay in the prison. They do get day passes. There's like a beauty salon in there.
What the F? This place sounds
So
fucking great.
They sent her to the Catskills.
I know,
Yeah,
it does
yeah.
sound fucking great, right? The pictures of
No wonder she kept going back.
yeah, it reminds me of Trailer Park Boys. Yeah, I'll just do a little bit of prison time,
Well, what do you always say? 3 hots in a cot?
Yeah.
But this is
Yeah.
like 3 hots in a condo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you
the
this
world?
is her during one of her prison stays right here.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the prisons that all the drug lords would negotiate,
Yeah. This is her in prison. I mean, look how nice that is. Like, she's got makeup on. She's got she's got her
wearing regular clothes.
nails done. This is her.
This is in prison.
This is in prison, dude.
What the fuck? Wow, prison be
She
nice.
has her own condo and shit. It's pretty fucking cool, man. She gets her own TV. This is her in her.
Okay, let's be clear to our listeners here. Not all prison is like this.
This is her. This
And
is
nor
her
should it be
condo,
like
man.
this.
She's
What
got
the fuck?
a TV and shit.
Yeah, no wonder she's having a great time.
I know, right? That's why a lot of people are
Pissed?
A lot of people are pissed. This story. So she's just out of prison again for the 8th time.
Also, who's taking her fucking photo while she's in prison? We'll post it. Let's take this one for the gram.
The
Right.
other girl, Lisa Healy, she played it smart. She got, she could go on day passes. She went out for her first day pass and got knocked up. So she got pregnant. She got moved to a better facility where it's like a mama baby facility. And then she got let out.
Because she had a baby.
Because she had a baby. Exactly. This is a quote from one of her fellow inmates.
From the Daily Mail, Davey's former fellow inmate said, Sarah's never shown any interest in men, but she did say maybe she should try to get pregnant like Lisa did so she can be released sooner. Oh.
All right. So this is from another fellow inmate. When you think of what she did to that poor woman, it's shocking to think that she's able to enjoy herself like this. She's so vain. She's always looking at herself in the mirror, and she wouldn't come out of her room unless her makeup was perfect. This is in prison. It's full of toiletries and nice clothes. She's been sent so she can always look her best. People think she's in there for punishment, but she's enjoying herself. She's basically being treated like a pampered teenager. She's my age now, and she is living the high life in this fucking prison, right?
But she's out again?
Yeah, she's out again. When she was first released in March of 2013, this is no fault of her own, but this is just how backwards this system is, right? She was actually put up in a condo or in an apartment that was 2 miles away from the murder house. 2 miles. They put her up in an apartment. And the day she got out of prison that first time, she posted this picture, which pisses everyone off. She's at a bar, right? She just got out. Their tax dollars are paying for her new apartment that's 2 miles away from where she brutally murdered this old...
Yeah, I'm sure the neighbors loved seeing her at the local pub.
Like, what the fuck, right? Isn't that crazy?
That's...
Can you read what the MP Graham Stringer said?
The MP Graham Stringer, who policed the Crumpsall area, told the Manchester Evening News, "It seemed to me to be very insensitive to allow her to live so close to where she committed such a notorious crime, and she may be able to come into contact with family, friends, and neighbors of the victim. She shouldn't have been allowed to live in the greater Manchester, let alone just a few miles away. I think it's appalling." I agree.
Another MP, Nigel Mills, told the Express that, quote, "It's disgraceful. This is a truly evil crime. It is appalling. This is not justice. She is laughing at justice. It's horrific. The poor victim died in the most distressing and humiliating way imaginable." So in 2013, since then, she has been recalled to prison 7 times, and now she's out on her 8th time for multiple offenses, like for having opioids in her system, for having cocaine in her system, for violating terms, not showing up to her probation officer, stuff like this. In jail, she would wear heavy makeup and glamorous outfits. She is out now. She just got released again. This was 2 weeks ago, and she will be subjected to close supervision for the rest of her life and recalled to prison for the rest of her life if she breaches anything, like she has been for the last 7 times, right?
So she's got like one more chance?
No, she has basically unlimited chances, right? They're just going to keep doing this. You let her do
like
it.
Such a waste of someone's resources. Like, put her back. Change your fucking prison and make her actually, miserable while she's there, because she clearly has no remorse.
Can you read what
even with so many
life.
so many years have passed since then? It's not like she's learned her lesson.
Oh no, she is like just as bad as she's ever been, even now.
That's fucked.
Yeah, I mean, she'll be back in. This is the 8th time. She'll be back in prison within a few weeks.
You think she's on the first name basis with like the judge?
Yeah. But we shouldn't even call it prison. She's going back to like a condo.
Yeah, camp.
Would you can have day passes. The only thing you can't do is just kind of leave when you want to. Like, you have to be on the campus, but you can apply for day passes and just go out.
Yeah,
and,
what the fuck?
And go out and...
You know where else you can apply for day passes? Like Disney and on cruises for expeditions.
Yeah.
Like,
so Brandon said, so commit crimes in England and Canada. There you go. That's right.
Shit. Can you read what Detective Superintendent?
Detective Superintendent Roy Rainford said yesterday, these 2 girls quite calmly, coolly, and cynically took over the house of an extremely vulnerable, pleasant, lonely old lady who welcomed in company, including children. Her reward for that was to have her property stolen and herself attacked and murdered. We don't know if they did it just for kicks. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
All right, so that's the story of Sarah Davey. She's back out. She's on the gram. She's on all the social channels.
Hit her up.
Jesus
She's looking to get knocked up so she can get released again.
I mean, so the other girl, apparently, she got pregnant. She has a kid. She's changed her name. She hasn't.
We don't know what, if
yeah, but I'm sure she's not like...
She's not doing this.
Doing anything, I don't know. Jesus.
Y'all are too funny. That's so crazy.
So,
wow.
I mean, they should just honestly just let her just go. Like, because what's really
Take her to the gravel pit, you mean?
No, what's really pissing people off in this case is that she keeps coming back to the prison and getting let out again. That's what's really pissing people off, because
just keep her in there.
Every year, literally every year, she gets released and she goes and she makes all these social media posts of her drinking and partying and shit. And every year it's just back in the news and people get pissed off every fucking time. And this is the 8th time she's been let out. And it probably will not be the last time. Probably
not.
Because she is subjected to these like mandatory inspections and everything else for the rest of her life. That's the stipulation. It's not like you could parole, because even parolees don't get that. She has to report for her entire life, which is kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So sweet. We'll be back on tomorrow as always. And
Do some headlines.
So until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.
Kind of run this shit.